Tai Njio here at tainjio.com, introducing to you the Yuen Method. Really how it works, why it works so effectively, and what it's used for, and maybe answering a few questions. Many people have heard about it, maybe taken a seminar, read a book, heard somebody tell them about it, but maybe you want to know a little bit more, how does this really work? And it's a valid question because it is different, unique, and very powerful. So what is the Yuen Method? That is your question. This is a technique developed by Dr. Kam Yuen that uses our intuition. It uses our intention as a practitioner. It allows us really to get to the root cause of what's going on, of your issue, of your challenge, of your pain. And it allows us to use our intuition to find those root causes and then to clear them with our intention. And it is a technique that Dr. Kam Yuen developed through his years of doing Kung Fu as a Shaolin master. He's really studied the physical body, physiology. He was a chiropractor, so he really understands the structure of the body, when things are misaligned, what that can do to us. Also, really how the mind, this is a really key piece, is how the mind has our thoughts, and when we see something, we think about it, and then we have an emotional reaction to it. And that emotional reaction is either going to be, everything is good, and you feel relaxed, and your body's fine, or you're going to have an emotional reaction that's maybe going to be a little bit more stressed, a little bit more tension, maybe fear. And those things begin to lodge in the physical body and create tension in the body, which then shuts down your systems slowly, and then you start to feel stagnation, blockage, and then you get pain and even illness. So there's a whole string of events that can happen in our body, starting at the mind, into the emotions, into the body, even psychically, some things coming in, just like you walk into a room and all of a sudden you feel off or you feel something strange. So that's, another way that energy can enter. And we have the spiritual connection as well, and that's how are we connected to our higher self? How are we connected to those higher energies? So there's all these different areas that we can work with, and we can work in our whole life because all these things are part of our life. So one of the reasons that this technique works so well and so fast is because we're working on the quantum level. Now that might be a big concept, and what is that? Basically, everything is energy. So a thought is energy. An emotion is energy. And you can think of it as a frequency of energy, as a wave, and you can feel those. And they enter in, and everything has that frequency, that wave, its energy. On the physical level, when you take a cell and you break that cell down into atoms, molecules, quantum particles, quantum energy, maybe I said that in the wrong order, but anyway, when it's down to the quantum energy, it's just energy. And that on that level, it's actually easier to work with things and to clear things out and to have movement and have things fall back into place, because you're not working on a physical dense level. When you're working on the mind, you're not working with those thoughts and those beliefs that are so stuck, and you're not just arguing about them, you're actually just tuning in on the energetic level of them, and from there you're able to shift them, make them release. Same with emotions. The emotions can be very deep. You can really feel them, and when you're working with somebody, they seem so real, yet they're just frequencies of energy. And when we go through and we clear them, they can release really easy if you just break it down on the energetic level. So really, that's why it works so fast. The other really important piece to understand with the Yuen Method is because it works on that quantum level, quantum energy moves beyond time, space, and distance. Now that's another big concept. Yes, that's quantum physics. And when it goes beyond time, it means you can work past, present, and future. There is no time limitation. So yes, we actually do work on people, and we strengthen them to the future, and we strengthen them to release their past and to be strong to what's happening in the present. So really that time factor. There's also distance. This works beyond distance. So it works here if I'm working with somebody right here in front of me. I can be on the phone with them and work with them in another country, and it works instantly because my intuition, when I'm tuning into their energy, that's on the quantum level, and that's beyond distance. And even space, this physical space, other dimensions of space, there's no limitations. That's getting a little deep, yet just introducing those few concepts to you, so that you understand why the Yuen Method can work so effectively, so fast. And when you've tried other techniques and you've tried everything else and you still feel like you've got this underlying stuff going on, or you still have these pains that just won't release, the Yuen Method very often works because we're working on it from a different level. We're accessing it from that quantum level. Let's see, some other pieces that you'd like to know about. Yes, this other piece is that anybody can learn this, anybody can do this, and that is because these tools that we use are really innate to us. We learn to use our intuition, we learn to use that to identify underlying root causes of what's really going on in a person. We learn to use our intention and our thoughts to clear those. We learn to work with people on that non-conscious level, and that's really an innate skills. You just have to learn how to do it, and then you have to practice it, and then after time, you really get it and it works. We're actually very blessed that Dr. Kam Yuen has brought this technique to the West here. He studied in the East and he studied the Shaolin martial arts, and through those studies he was able to learn the deeper meaning of the martial arts. The part where when you're tuning into your opponent, you can identify, what's going on with them. Where is that place you can enter into them and attack them? Because maybe it's through some weakness in their mind or emotion or physical body. And he learned those subtleties really well. And he's translated those for us when we do this technique. Instead of attacking those places that you sense in a person, that's maybe a weak area in their mind or body or emotion, we actually clear that. He's taught us how to clear that. And that's the beauty of this technique. So I just thought that might be a key piece that you'd like to understand, how did this come about? So I'm really excited to be able to bring this to you, introduce the Yuen Method to you, how it works and why it works, and that yes, you can learn it for yourself, what it is. Hundreds of thousands of people have used this technique. Dr. Kam Yuen has trained many, many people. Everyone has a different way of translating it and using it. Some people add certain things to it to add to their practice of what they were doing before. And we just have to be open to that. If you can accept the fact that it works on the quantum level, you can learn it or you can have it be done on you, it works. And you don't have to have anything more than that, just saying, yes, I believe it can work for me and it can work for you. I was fortunate enough to have studied with Dr. Kam Yuen himself back in 2001. I was certified to do the Yuen Method in 2003. And I'm telling you this because I want you to know that I've had some experience, and so I'm really offering what I've learned and from my perspective, and really giving you the key pieces of what really works with the Yuen Method. I've worked on over 3,000 people, and I've taught over 75 seminars. So I feel like there's been some experience there that I can share with you. And in the seminars that I've taught, I've always had a lot of feedback on how well I can explain the Yuen Method step by step, and people really appreciate that because it's a technique that's very simple yet very deep. It's very innate, so anybody can learn it, yet there's so many little pieces, and you have to just really learn it and trust it. So I have a way to convey that to people. So in this educational series, my hope is to really give you those step-by-step pieces. So I really invite you to take those steps. Step by step, you can see what you need, which pieces you need to fill in. And the educational video series that I'm doing for the Yuen Method are really for people that maybe have taken another class already and they want to fill in those gaps. They feel like maybe there's some pieces missing, and you'd like to, know, well, how do they do this part, or did I get that part correctly? Am I doing this piece right? And you'll fill those gaps in, and you'll be able to do it much easier, much clearer, and you'll feel confident and trust yourself and trust when you're working on somebody else that it's working, preparing yourself. So all these different pieces that I'm really delighted to be offering to you. And once again, those can all be found on my website at tainjio.com. And I also have a YouTube channel. That one is for some free videos that I offer, including this one, just so that you can get an idea of, what's this about, and start to build on it. The other piece about the educational video series is that they will be overlapping. So I can't fit everything into one video. I'm not reading a script. I'm just really allowing this to flow. So there'll be a lot of overlap and things, and you go, okay, this piece goes with this piece, and you'll really understand how that works. So delighted that you're here, that you're learning, that you're open to this. Tai Njio again at tainjio.com. Thank you.